So you said before the draft it didn't matter to you
Yes, sir.
what pick you went.
Yes, sir.
Why was that?
Really, I just want an opportunity. This is my dream since I was 3 years old, like to get to the NBA. So I got the chance. So I've been most happy I've ever been, man. It's like a blessing for me. It's like I worked really hard to get to this spot, and for me to actually get here means a lot for me. So it was like a lot of tears, just me and my family, just all happy. So it was like emotions everywhere.
Can you explain to us who Emoni Bates is as a player?
Yes, sir. I feel like Emoni Bates as a player is just like an all-around player. I feel like I can do a little bit of everything, score, especially when I use my leg on defense, starting to use my leg, especially being here my first 4 weeks, just learning a whole lot of new tangibles. So, really, I feel like I'm an all-around player, and Vegas, we got Vegas coming up, so I feel like a lot of people see.
You haven't taken a conventional path to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
What does it, jump into different schools, what have you? What does it mean now, though, to know where you're going to be?
Yes, sir.
And know what you got to work
Yes, sir.
on.
For sure.
And take the next step from there.
It feels so good, especially just this is knowing this is my new home for right now. Just being with my coaches and everything. Like for me, it's a blessing. Like I love it here for sure. Especially they took a chance on me, so this is like everything for me for sure. For real, I'm really most happy I've ever been in my journey. Like throughout my whole basketball career. Like cause I feel like I can just have fun right now. Like not expectations. I'm with talented players. I can learn from everybody. Like it's not a bench like Donovan, Darius, Evan Mobley, even like Sharif, like people now in the G League team like Sharif, people that have been here already. So I'm just trying to learn as much as I can.
At a recent media availability function, Emoni Bates was very candid with media members as he shared that he had lost his love for basketball after spending time at both Memphis and Eastern Michigan, but joining the Cavs has reignited or resparked his love for the game, mostly due to the fact that he can now focus on just hooping without a constant spotlight being shown upon him. This is a 19-year-old young man being very honest with us all, and that, my friends, speaks volumes in my opinion. After being heralded as one of the best players in the nation for a period of time, and possibly the next coming of Kevin Durant, Bates spiraled a bit as he struggled to deal with the massive amounts of expectations that were being placed upon him, and also managed to get himself into a bit of trouble off the court as well. These factors contributed to him falling all the way down to pick 49, where the Cleveland Cavaliers are willing to give him a shot. Humbled and out of the pressures of the spotlight that he endured for so long, Bates has taken his opportunity and ran with it. Since joining the Cavaliers, he has done nothing but put his head down and work, and that can be seen across multiple areas. Through 3 summer league games, Bates is averaging 16.3 points, 6 rebounds, 1.3 steals, 1.3 blocks, shooting 41.5% from the field, including 38.5% from three-point range. And with each passing game, he appears to be adjusting, improving, and feeling more confident. Like I mentioned during my breakdown of him, there is a lot to like. The supreme level of confidence that he displayed at the college level has carried over to Summer League, and ladies and gentlemen, I am all here for it. While quite effective when operating out of the pick and roll, his use of screeners has mostly just resulted in him opting for pull-up jumpers instead of driving inside. This ability could very well translate at the NBA level, as he appears adept at using the pick and roll as a conduit for his jumpers. Hell, even this man's contested jumpers look makeable due to his form. That catch and shoot ability that was among his best skills at EMU is even more apparent given the upgrade in talent that he is surrounded by on this Cavs Summer League roster. And at least for now, he is no longer going to have to face constant double teams, as defenders will have to focus on his teammates as well. Whether it be a dribble handoff, transition triple, or simply waiting for the ball to find him off a timely pass, Bates will be a constant threat in this regard. One of the biggest knocks on his game coming into draft night was his shot selection. We got to see that firsthand in his first ever Summer League appearance against the Brooklyn Nets, where Bates scored 16 points, but needed 18 total shot attempts, including 13 from distance to get there. And many of these shots may have been the result of him trying to establish a rhythm or simply get a feel for this type of environment, but one couldn't help but think that he was a little flustered. Things changed, however, in Game 2, where Bates appeared to be a bit more selective with his attempts in an effort to stay within the flow of Cleveland's offense, and though he is still prone to taking the occasional pull-up jumper that might be a little bit more ISO heavy than team-based like this one, you can tell that he is soaking all of this in like a sponge and is improving from game to game. Also, although the numbers are telling us that he is averaging just 1 assist per game, he is clearly still moving the ball and attempting to find the open man. This is an area to keep an eye on moving forward, as playmaking wasn't exactly his strong suit coming out of college, as he averaged more turnovers than assists in his time at Eastern Michigan. In my opinion, Bates will need to completely lean into his catch and shoot ability and willingness to play team ball in order to find rotation minutes early, As mentioned in my initial breakdown of him, he still lacks the ability to create a ton of separation. He has managed to compensate for a general lack of burst with his jump shooting. And while this has worked at the collegiate level, NBA coaching staffs will likely do their best to exploit this by making him fight through contact, especially at or near the rim. He has a slow first step but can offset this by a clever use of the crossover and screens to drive inside. Adding some muscle, which appears to be a primary focus this offseason, can also help with this as well. One of the most surprising turn of events in regards to Bates this summer league has been his play on the defensive side of the ball, where he appears to be fully locked in. After all, he is playing for a Cleveland Cavaliers team that finished with the top rated defense in the NBA last season. That helps. He has already given us some highlight reel rejections.
As Cleveland's pulling away, Bates, give me that.
But what I'm watching and what we're seeing here is good.
Love the cut. Oh, Chandler addresses back the other way. Bates got a hand on that.
And has done his best to stay in front of defenders. It's very encouraging to see this when this is one of his most brutal flaws at the collegiate level. Now overall, the flaws are still present, but they are becoming a little more difficult to point out from game to game. He has high upside as a skilled offensive talent and won't likely be asked to be a day one contributor, which would give him time to soak things in and season a bit before being called upon. And look, you can't ask much more of a low second round pick. And in my opinion, he could be the steal of this draft if the Cavs just remain patient with him. But that's the key. Patience. As of right now, I still envision him as an off-ball catch and shoot threat, and that's a good place to start.